Hello everyone, it's Elaine. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for joining me today. In today's card, we're going to be making a Halloween card using the Little Ghost Agenda stamps from Mama Elephant. So let's dive in. I'm taking this paper pad from Hobbycraft, which is here in the UK, and it's got a selection of lovely pink papers in it. And I'm just pulling one of those coloured pieces of paper out, and I've trimmed it down to slightly larger than an A2 sized card. And I'm bringing in my craft mat here and a large blending brush, and I've used my Distress Ink in Picked Raspberry, and I'm just going to lightly blend on some colour all the way around the edge, focusing the majority of the colour on the edges and just gradually building up a very light layer. Next, I'm coming in with Seedless Preserves. Again, I'm not tapping off the excess ink. I kind of want that darker edging. I am going to be trimming it down slightly, so it doesn't matter if it's got a harsh edge, because that's going to be cut away a little bit later on. So just spinning the cardstock round and just getting a nice gradient towards the middle. Now I'm coming in with black soot and a smaller blending brush so that I can focus the ink more closely to the edge and concentrate it a little more so that just the edges are darker. And I do tap off the excess ink before taking it to that raspberry. It's a light card, it's quite a lightweight card, so it's in between paper and card, I'd say. So you can see now I'm really starting to darken up the edges and really intensifying that colour around the edge. And once I'm happy with that, I did just spritz on a little bit of water. I'm just taking up the excess water with my cloth here, and that just gives a little bit of a distressed look. It's quite subtle, but we are going to be coming in with some ink splatters as well. So I'm smushing my Distress ink pad onto that craft mat, popping a little bit of water down on top, mixing it up with my paintbrush there, quite a small paintbrush, and then just tapping on some of that ink all over the inked panel. And then once I'm happy with that, I'm going to clean my craft mat. I do leave this just to sit for a little while. You can see that that ink has really dried back, so it's not as intense as it was. That is because I left it for about 10-15 minutes, and then I can come in with my Copic Opaque white. And I did loosen that down with a little bit of water onto an acrylic block, and again that same paintbrush just cleaned off. And I'm really happy with how that distressed panel is looking. So now I'm bringing in the Mama Elephant Star Grid die. Ran that through my die cut machine, and then I'm also taking some more papers from my stash. I've got these glittery ones, and then I did go through all of my patterned papers, and I'm just putting these ones that are purpley or pink. I've got a little Halloween one there with those cute little bats embossed on it. And I've also got an A2 sized card base, and I've got my star grid panel. I have trimmed off the excess on the star grid die. There is a small bit of stitching detail around the edge, and I did use my guillotine trimmer to trim that off so that it leaves a nice border around the edge. I will pop a diagram on my coordinating blog, which I'll have listed down in the description box below. But there you can see I've got a nice little border around the edge, and I just really think that gives a nice finished look. So now I can bring back all of my little stars in various papers, and I'm just using my Gina K Connect glue just to secure all of those down. I did spend quite a lot of time moving and arranging my stars, so I was happy with them. The only one is my little bat, you can see, is upside down, but really I think it's still really adorably cute, and I'm really happy with the colours I'd chosen. So I can move on to my Little Ghost Agenda stamps, which I did cut out with my silhouette machine, and I've just secured these down to my craft mat with a bit of post-it tape there. I'm bringing in my bee markers for this. really light blue. I just really like the way this looks for the little ghosts. You could use a light grey, but personally I just really like these blues. And I'm just adding the shading mainly to one side. Really, really simple colouring. I've popped the caps on the screen. I've also listed them on the screen, and they'll be on the blog and also in the description box if you're interested in any of the colours I'm using. A really little bit of light pink on the cheeks, and now coming in to just colour the accessories. I love this little one with the hat and the broom. These little ghost agenda stamps are so cute, and I really think they pair well with the mummy agenda stamps, which I made a card for last week or a couple of weeks ago. Such adorable little critters. Just darkening up the bandages on this mummy. I'm just focusing a little bit of light C marker on the edges and just intensifying that a little bit. Just really, really light shading just to give the illusion of light and dark and just bring the image to life. This little pumpkin, so cute. Some Y markers and YR markers for that. And then just a little bit of green for the leaf and the little stalk at the top. Now to bring in some pinks and purples to tie in with our background. So I'm using some RV markers for the little lollipop and some V markers for the sweet. And just colouring in this little broomstick here. Really, really cute. Just adding in a little bit of shading and just blending that all together, just to bring everything to life. Here's my little sweetie. And now I can move on to preparing the sentiment. So I've got some black cardstock here. It's the same cardstock as I used for my card base. I've got the Pretty Pink Posh Boo stamp set, and I've got that Happy Halloween to You sentiment. I've used my embossing buddy just to prepare the cardstock, and then I'm bringing in the Versamark ink, lightly pressing that down. And then I've got my Ranger Super Fine White Embossing Powder, my favourite embossing powder when using white embossing powder for sentiments. Using my heat tool to just heat that till it's nicely melted and nice and glossy. Trimming that down with my guillotine trimmer. Just chopping off the ends so it's nice and neat, and then I can use that in the centre of my card. Going to be securing that down with some double-sided adhesive. I'm going to bring back my card panel here, roughly just lightly lay it down onto my card, and once I'm happy with its rough placement, I'm bringing in my T-square ruler there, and I can just line everything up till it's nice and straight, and then I can properly secure it down. Adding on my little ghosts with some liquid adhesive. And now I'm adding on some Ebony Jewels, and these particular jewels were from Lucy's Little Things from Lucy's Cards, and using my little We Are Memory Keepers quick stick tool, bit of Spectrum Noir sparkle pen on the accessories, and that is this Halloween card featuring little ghost agenda stamps, all complete. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.